And so, once again, for yet another year, I have been tasked with standing before you. A group of mixed up, drunken, godless, heathen theater people. And I have been charged with bringing a little morality and family values to an evening that will no doubt see its share of strumpets, dope fiends, and run-of-the-mill hussies. Lindsay. Walking up here to collect your rewards and then making your way back to your chair to hug that person that you lay with without benefit of marriage. Or partner. Which, of course, we all know is theater slang for gay lover. Many years ago, when I was first asked to host this event, never did I expect that one day I would be talking to such trashy, no-account, low-class folks in such a gorgeous, beautiful, elegant setting. Amen? Amen. Crystal chandeliers. Amen. Curtains with gold tassels on them. Gold leaf ceilings in the proscenium. Amen. Being here always takes me back to me and Herschel's many vacations to the PTL Club. Amen. Sitting in the audience waiting for the Passion Play to begin. The whole place custom gilded by Tammy Faye Baker herself. Amen. Amen. But it does look like, as many years as I've spent here in this building, through the years, I would get used to it. But I never do. Amen? You see, in my capacity here as lead usheress at the Orpheum, amen? You like my dress? Yeah. Amen? In my capacity as lead usheress, amen, I have led a dedicated group of volunteers, amen, who have through the years shown you to your seats, handed you programs, directed you to the restrooms, and told you to please, for the love of God and all things holy, stop texting at the theater. Amen? Which brings us to the 2013 and 14 community and college theater seasons. Amen? Now, as I expected, it was mostly filth. Amen? I saw Tracy Handsome's naked bosoms in not one but two shows this year. And while she was stripped off naked in New Moon Theater Company's Bug, here I see John Dylan Adkins, the recipient of last year's Larry Riley Rising Star Reward, strip off every bit of clothes he had on and set his house on fire. Completely buck naked, showing his entire nasty wad. Once again, I found myself titillated against my will. And then at Theater Memphis, normally my safe haven in the sinful world of Memphis theater, sure, I saw some singing in the rain, and I saw a fiddler playing on the roof, and I saw a Christian boy band take the world by storm in Altar Boys. But do you know what else I saw? I saw a play called 6 Degrees of Sexpiration. And I was there on a particular night when Jacob Wingfield crouched behind a bed to quickly change into a jock strap, only to emerge to realize that he had put it on through a leg hole. And he pranced out with a gonad and a half hanging out one side. audience of horrified grandmothers questioning how that season subscription that Debbie Litch had sold them during that 15-minute long opening sales pitch had led them to somehow spend another Saturday night, now in their golden years, with a face full of scrotum. At Hattie Lou Theater, I wound up seeing Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. And in a co-production of The Mountaintop with Circuit Playhouse, I unexpectedly had the opportunity to hear the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. pee. And then proceed to spend his last night on earth with the filthiest mouthed motel maid I have ever run across in all of my born days. Things at Germantown Community Theater were no better. I watched a children's musical that caused me to question what is to become of our next generation. Ruthless the musical may have started as a sweet story about a little girl who dreams of being a star and then murders her classmate after she beats her out on getting the role of Pippi Longstocking. So it's normal kid stuff, right? But then the whole thing goes morally bankrupt. And for some reason they decide to dress up a man in a wig and makeup and parade him around for no reason whatsoever. Just shoving it down your throat. Anything that'll sell a ticket to a sinner, amen? The colleges this year was just a mixed up mess. I saw a musical at Rhodes College called Into the Woods, and they claim to be smart as a whip over there at that school. But I've heard better fairy tales from a kindergartner. They get started on a fairy tale about Jack and the Beanstalk, then next thing you know, they've switched to Cinderella. Here comes Rapunzel, then Snow White. I thought Shrek would be there any minute, but he never did show up. And then over at the University of Memphis, things was just as bad. I saw Medea, a tale of a vengeful woman who is betrayed by her husband and commits an unspeakable violence. And this production just about left me speechless. They just completely missed the boat. First off, they decided to cast a little old skinny white girl as Medea. Amen? Completely unbelievable. And for all that build-up, she wasn't even as mad as the one where she goes to jail. Amen? If you want to see a vengeful Medea, get a parking place at Kmart. Amen? Luckily, I was able to see a gorgeous, profound production at Voices of the South. Amen? An old forest fairy tale, a new musical for children about the avoided destruction of Overton Park's old forest. Amen? Thanks to some persistent old ladies in sensible shoes. Amen? And then at Playhouse on the Square and Circuit Playhouse, we got to see Carla McDonald gun down a man on her staircase and then watch him tumble to his death down the steps and into her kiddie pool, which I thought was a litter box. Meanwhile, I sat through a 7-hour play called Angels in America to watch angels appear and talk to folks. Why I did that, I will never know. At my house, it's just called a Tuesday. But folks, what really saved this entire theater season for me was a little show I wound up going to see called The Color Purple. Now, folks, I knew nothing about this show, and quite truthfully, the only reason I bought a ticket was because some folks at church had told me that Oprah was in it. She wasn't. The Color Purple tells the story of Miss Seeley, A poor black woman abused and mistreated by her daddy and then traded off to the most hateful husband in the world, and who endures the worst treatment that you can even imagine. And eventually Miss Seeley leaves him, amen, and takes comfort in the arms of a honky-tonk whore named Suge Avery. Now, I know it sounds strange, but I don't know when I have been more inspired going to see a theater show. Amen? I went home and all I could think about was The Color Purple and poor Miss Seeley. I bought the CD to play in my car. I got the movie and watched it, and I decided that I would pay untold money, ready cash, if I could just see that show one more time. So I went and I stood in line for a sold-out performance to stand up at the back to see it a second time. And I am a changed woman because of The Color Purple. Amen? And the changes were gradual, but nonetheless, I am changed. After seeing it the first time, my husband Herschel was surprised to learn that even I had now turned again Paula Dean. Amen? And come Sunday morning, I had an overwhelming desire to wear a hat to church. Amen? Which is no easy task considering the size of this hairdo. Amen? By the second time I seen it, I was so tore up over how awful Miss Seeley had been treated that if I thought that it would have brought her an ounce of comfort, even I might have considered turning against nature to lay with her. Amen. Sure gave it. And so since that show, I have been researching my ancestry, looking at my family roots, amen? And while I have yet to find the link, I know that somewhere along the way, I'm going to find that relative that I knew nothing about, amen? The one that causes me to take pride in being the strong black woman you see before you tonight, amen? Amen. So let's give out some play prizes.